Hello, 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 everybody. It's your girl, Kiesha Mills. I'm so excited, y'all, because we have a great friend, a co-ambassador, right? We love our I Love My Life ambassador. And we also have sponsor of Experience, DMV. Get excited. Oh, and now I mentioned that she's also an author and from Broken to Book. This girl, she is on fire. She is on fire. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love her. And so she is a minister. She is just somebody with a heart of gold, y'all. And she's just ready to serve. And that's amazing because everybody is not. And I'm going to read you some of her biographical information. That was just off the top of my head because I know her. But I'm going to tell you all what she does and who she is, and then we're going to get into the conversation. So Kiesha L. Peterson, mother, self-publishing coach, minister, blogger, and entrepreneur. She was born in Newark, New Jersey, and raised between Newark and Vauxhall, New Jersey. I hope I pronounced that right. Yes. She was a single mom of 3 and was the administrative assistant to former Assemblyman William D. Payne, 29th Legislative District. She received her associate's degree in criminal justice from Everest University, which is online. She's author of Knowing When Enough is Enough, My Guide to Building Your Self-Esteem, Book of Poems, Volume 1, and I Am Who God Says I Am, yes, under the pen name G.C. Peterson, and is currently working on her 4th book, Be the Best You Can Be. Kiesha is a proud member of the St. Paul's Calvary United Church of God in Union, New Jersey. She is Silver Life member of NAACP Tri-City Branch, the National Council of Negro Women, Women's Speaker Association, International Sisters, Drifting Sisters, and the Soul Restoration Center. Get excited for all that.
Yes,
that means that she's not just sitting there. I told her to do, and I love people like that. So, Kiesha, we just read all of that amazing biographical information, and we want to know who really are you? Like, I know that's a deep question, but what was the first thing that you thought when I said that?
Well, I am a friend. I try to live up to that word. Friend it's a very deep word for me because without friends, some people are lost. Some people don't have people to talk to, who they can confide in. When you tell someone, okay, your secret is good with me, your secret is good with me.
Mhm.
And then that helps me, to expand my relationships, not even just personal, but also business-wise as well.
Awesome. And so I love that you are a friend. Like, the answer to that was so perfect because just because friends are so far and few between as you get older.
Yes.
Yes, it's so far and few between. And so to be a friend in this day and age as we get older, I know when I was smaller, I used to say, I want this person, this is my friend, that's my friend, everybody's my friend. But when you really realize the definition of friend, then you know that a lot of times you have less true friends than you can count on your hands.
Exactly.
So I think it's powerful that you said that. And so what do you think is the catalyst behind that? Like, how was your childhood growing up with friends? Were you always the girl who was like me, like everybody's my friend, or was it hard to make friends, or where was that foundation from?
I was considered, I want to say, the geek of the group. I was pretty much always the youngest of the group every time I met friends, but it wasn't hard for me to make friends. And even though I was quiet, and it seemed like, I guess, my quietness drew people to me. It wasn't like it was always that loud one, and it was and it's so funny that I did have a friend she used to talk so fast and she was loud, and people asked me, how can you be her friend? I said, why not? Everybody needs a friend. And then they asked, how do you understand what she's saying? Well, you have to listen. You have to be able to listen to people in order to be a good friend. And so, it wasn't hard, even moving back and forth from Newark to Vauxhall. And it was so funny because even if it was like years between the moves, but my friends still remembered me, whether I moved back to Newark or even when I moved to Vauxhall. And even as I got older, Kiesha, I remember you,
Well, you are definitely memorable. You're definitely memorable, and I'm glad that you were the one who's like, yes, we need to all be friends.
Yes.
And so that's important, because just realizing that everybody is different, but that could be celebrated. And so it's amazing, like translating and transitioning into the person that you are now. We all know who are Christians that God is our best friend.
Right.
And so with that, just really mirroring God and what he does and his purpose and his power, that's what we're supposed to do as Christians. And so how has the walk of being a minister been different for you because of the fact and the foundation of you being a friend?
Well, it actually, and it's so funny because when I finally did accept the calling to walk into my ministry, my friends was like, finally, you were always the person who mediated in between, people, your friends was having arguments, or, you was always the one that kept everybody together and on track, and then gave out encouraging words. No matter what you was going through, no matter what I was going through, I was always still able to encourage others, and being a minister actually just, I guess it helped me walk closer with God and to be able to do it more boldly.
I am really excited about the fact that we can see your story. We can see your life. It's all painted in front of us, because if you pay attention, everything you do is in the helping field. Like, it talks about the work that you did in government that helped someone, and
right.
It talks about the work that you do in the church that helped someone, and it talks about the books that you write and the publishing that you do that help someone. So I think that God just positioned you to be helpful and to have what you're saying, to be a friend. That is the ultimate help, because we all need a friend to carry us through the day. And so ministry is not that easy by any means.
Not at all. Not at all.
But, yes, it's kind of like they have me, people keep putting me in this whole ministerial thing, and I think it's interesting because a lot of people think that they have to be drawn to a church or to the fivefold ministry and all these type of things. But I think it's also good to know that the person who's out here in the streets doing whatever, that is ministering to somebody. That is being a friend. That's the ultimate road friendship, right?
Yes.
And so I want you to talk a little bit in that vein, because we may have some people who are listening today who I don't have minister in front of my name, but they need to understand that they have it in their life.
Exactly. And, it's funny that you say that, because before I actually, like I said, accepted the calling, someone told me, they said, Kiesha, you were ministering a long time ago, but because you were not mature enough in it, you didn't know it yourself. So with helping people, volunteering at food banks, food pantries, and shelters, and stuff like that, and just the desire and the love to help others in any form of fashion, whether it be monetary, just spending time with someone, you know, that is still ministry. Ministry is not always in the pulpit, reading from the Bible and speaking to the people. It's just how you communicate with others and doing it with your heart. You know, you're not doing it to be have your name in lights. You're doing it from your heart, because this is how you want people to treat you. You treat people the same way.
Amen. It's about being a good person. Like, that's really what ministry is about. And I think when we start talking about preachers and teachers and evangelists and all, you all know that. I know certain titles, bishops and apostles and these things. I know that simply by, you know, my grandmother being an evangelist hanging around you all as well. And like, I know, but the whole thing, I think the essence of what it is definitely falls down to the simplicity of anybody who just does what God does. And he hung out with people who were not necessarily the best people.
Exactly.
And I think that we just take this a little bit harder than what it is, and we have to think about the fact that God's grace carries our perfection. And so we don't have to be perfect. We don't. No. And I think that just being able to say, which is amazing through just your life and your story, is that you are like phenomenal. You know, you are phenomenal. The fact that you don't, you're welcome. That you are living, breathing, and you don't, like, even though I know you're a minister, you don't carry yourself in the fact that almost like some people, when they have titles, minister, preacher, teacher, whatever title they have, CEO, you know, they have something about them that people need to understand that they're just like us, which is great. But then there are some people who take that for like too much almost and try to make people feel bad because of whatever title. And so I appreciate people who carry titles and who know things and who have been through life and are still on the same level where I feel like I could pick up the phone or get in the inbox or something like that. And so I appreciate that from you, because we've had some really great conversations, and I've never once felt like I shouldn't say this. And I think that, you know, our mentor, Dr. Porter, she definitely is like that too. And it keeps people wanting to know more about the church and wanting to know more about Jesus Christ and God and Holy Spirit and all types of things, because if not, they will be turned away.
Turned away, exactly, and that is the last thing we want to happen. You know, we got to be ready and able to get down in the trenches and get dirty, you know, with whoever we got to get down there and get dirty with. You know, we can't always be sitting up on top of that pedestal looking glamorous. We have to be ready and able to get down there, and if it means getting dirty, getting in that elbow grease, we have to do it. You know? Yes,
and I think people just in general, like, you know, thank God. I thank God for some of the things that I've been able to accomplish in life. I thank God for having a master's degree. I thank God for just because it's not easy. I'm not a perfect person, but what I know for sure is that my God is. And really, a lot of the stuff that people do, all the stuff people do, they could not have done that without God. And I think that we just miss that a lot of times. We miss the fact that we are filthy rags, nothing like that is the truth. And I think that people just forget where they came from. They forget where they came from, and they don't understand that they could quickly go back there if they don't honor God and what He's done. So we girl, the Lord is having us talk today, and so it's just amazing.
And that's, you know, I try to encourage people to, you know, a lot of people tell you, oh, forget about your past. Well, no, I like to remember my past, because if it wasn't for God, I would still be living in my past.
Amen.
You know, if you remember your past, you can always say, well, I thank God for bringing me out of this. I thank God for bringing me out of that. Because if you don't remember your past, how can you minister to someone else who was living the life that you lived?
Oh,
you know?
Yes.
So it's always good, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. This is good. Somebody needs to hear this today, and I think that what happens, just really, we just have to understand. Like, I was just thinking about things that happened a year ago in my life, and all I can say is, but God, because I know He's not a respecter of any person, and because of that, it's not like I'm so great that this happened to me. I just understand the favor of God and the grace of God, and that's why I truly try to live my life, like, out loud, because I want people to know, like, I'm not perfect by any means. This is where I messed up. This is where I fell out of grace. Not even fell out of grace, but this is where I said I was going to do this, and it didn't happen. Like, this is where my humanness is, because for me, business definitely is not, like, I don't necessarily subscribe to business tenets. I understand it because I've been here. I understand education. I understand, the laws and the rules and the regs of all the stuff. But at the end of the day, like, I believe that some people, and this is switching back to business a little bit, but I believe that some people are building brands to be their idols, and that is not what I'm going to do.
Right.
So
exactly.
And talk on that.
To building the brand. Well, being that you mentioned that, I am also one of the co-authors, along with none other than our very own Stevie Aisha Mills, From Broken to Branded. And when I saw that title, it really just made me think of when I grew up in Newark. And I say Newark because I grew up in what I have come to know as one of the roughest parts of Newark. I don't know, some people that maybe listen to this, Prince Street Projects was known for the crime, for the drugs and everything. And then for me to grow up in that area, sometimes they say, you can take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person. Living in that area, people used to wonder, why are you living out here? My mom likes the apartment. It was what she could afford, And because I stayed in the church, my mother kept me in church. I stayed in church even as I got older, and I kept the values that my mom had instilled in me. And so now, working on that book and also working on my brand as well, which I have learned a lot from you and Dr. Porter and so many others. I love Facebook. Some people don't like Facebook because they say you get in trouble, but Facebook is what you make it, so you can make it your news source or your trouble source, But I chose to use Facebook as a way of building myself and also to help others as well. And which with that, I have also just launched my new company, Self-Publishing Coaching with Kiesha, because so many people have asked me, how did you, publish your books by yourself? Doesn't it cost a lot of money? And that actually, made me want to reach out and help people more and easier that way, coaching them to get their own books published.
Awesome. And it's so funny because the book, you might have just changed the book name. I like that one. You got cultivated. It's From Broken to Book, but I love From Broken to Branded. I'm like, we'll have to see. I might have to pray on that and see if that'll be the new name, because I really do like that one. And so it's amazing. It's amazing to understand that where you came from does not have to be where you end up. And I think a lot of people just get caught up in their circumstances because of whatever they see. You know, when you see something, it truly is not not where you have to keep your vision. Someone once said that they'd rather have vision than sight, and that's so true. I definitely would too, because of the fact that vision, you know, is what you see when your eyes are closed. Sight is just what you see. And so many people have, like, sight, and they're not seeing anything, and then there are blind people who see vision more so than anything because they can't see. And there was a story one time, I'm sure you heard it. It was the quick and dirty version of the story was about this man who was in the hospital. It was two men in the hospital, and one could like, he would describe, like, oh my gosh, do you see this beautiful scenery? Do you see it? It has all the beach, and it just is gorgeous, and you can see the sun and the flowers, and you can see some great things. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And he just would explain to his roommate every day, and they were separated by a curtain, so the other man couldn't see what was going on. And so he would just say this every day, this went on for some months, and then one day the man passed away. And so the other guy, he asked could he be switched, because, you know, he wasn't, the man was no longer there. And so he was switched to the other space where the window was. And the man who was still living, when he got there, he was disappointed because guess what? He looked out and he saw a brick wall. He was like, what is that? And the man was like, who passed away? The nurse said, because he asked the nurse said he was blind. He couldn't see. And so in his mind's eye, he created all this amazingness. All this beautiful stuff, yes, that the man was looking for. And that is just a powerful story because he didn't see anything, but he still had that vision of, like, greatness and beautiful things. And so that's what we got to do, no matter what your circumstances are. Some people are looking at real brick walls and not seeing it, but if you keep your mind stayed on Jesus and stayed on what he's created, then you will transition out of that. So what I want to do in the last few minutes, because time does fly when you're having fun. We have about 6-7 minutes left. But what I want to do is to ask this question of you, and it's simply, what do you think we have not uncovered today? Like, what do you think the people need to know? You're like, Stevie, if we don't say this, oh my gosh, they're going to miss out. So what is that thing?
Well, to just stay focused, and things are not going to come easy. You know, we always heard anything that comes easy is not worth having. So there are going to be some struggles, ups and downs, but you have to not look at what's in front of you, but look at what you're trying to get to and get there. You know, because God is not going to give us things that we can't handle, and he is going to allow us, you know, if we delight ourselves in the Lord, he will give us the desires of our hearts, and he will help you make a way to get to your goals. You know, I never thought, ever did I think that I would be doing what I'm doing now. But because, you know, I had a talk with God, and I said, look, you know, I would like to do this. This will give me a chance to even help people more. And here I am today. And I still have a little ways to go, you know, and I know that I will get there. So whatever it is, and never let anyone deter you from your train of thought. Don't let anyone make you rethink your goals or rethink what it is that you are called to do, because only you know what God has called you to do.
Awesomeness. That was a good message. Come on now, minister. Yes, that's something that we can leave our day on. And so before you leave out of here, we have got to get your contact information, because I do know that there are some people who want to make sure that they stay connected to you.
Yes. Okay. Well, my website is, try to keep it nice and simple. It is www.geek, KieshaLPeterson.net. So that is KIE, S as in Sam, HA, L as in Larry, P as in Peter, E, T as in Tom, ERSON.net. And my email address is just the same, KieshaLPeterson@gmail.com.
Awesome sauce. So thank you for all that you do and all that you are. It has been an incredible conversation with you today, and I'm just excited. I'm excited about this conversation. And
yes,
guys,
thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. Thank you for being just an incredible sponsor, friend, co-author, sister girl, minister, all those things. Thank you for being, they call me Just Stevie. Thank you for being Just Kiesha. That's incredible. And so, guys, you heard it here. We had the minister here. She ministered to us. Yes. You all, you know how to stay connected to me. All you've got to do is know how to spell my first name. It is not I-E. It is not one I. It is S-T-E-V-I-I. And you can go to Stevie.com, find me on social media, find me all over the place. And so you can Google it. If you want anything or need anything I can help you with, I will be glad to do it. And let's see. Yes, we are excited about what is coming up. Experience is still being in just going to the next level. Experience is, guys, we sold out of the tickets a while ago. We really, really did. But guess what? Because you may have just heard my experience today or whatever happens, there are a couple of tickets left that you can have. And they're complimentary thanks to our amazing sponsors like Kiesha. They're complimentary. So you just go to Stevie.com. You'll see a tab that says Experience, and you'll be able to get your ticket. But you better hurry up because we can't. They're not gonna call police and the fire squad and everybody else on me in Maryland. They're not gonna do that. So y'all gotta hurry up and secure your tickets. Let all your people know because I think we are gonna turn the roof off the sucker, like they say.
Yes.
Everybody coming in, coming out. It's going to be just amazing, and I'm excited. You'll hear more from Kiesha at Experience, and I just love our sponsors for Experience DMV. I love all of our Experience cities. Don't get mad, Atlanta or Roanoke. I love y'all too, but I have a special place in my heart for these people. They are remarkable, amazing people, and so go to Stevie.com. Get your tickets for Experience. You'll see a tab. Again, there are complimentary tickets, but we do need you to register so we can prepare correctly for you. And, again, I never say have a great day. I always believe in saying make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too, have the power to do so. So I will talk to you later.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.